everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackenzie and this is the Night Owl Stitcher. Thank you for clicking on my video. Welcome back to those of you who have seen me before, and for those of you who haven't, thank you for clicking on my video. I have a lot to go through today. I have my notes just over here, so if you see me looking that way, that is why. So I have a few things I want to go over today. I have an FFO. I'm very excited. And then we'll do my stitching update with all my progress on my projects, plans, a little bit of haul. I'm going to show you my other crafts, and then question for you guys that I have later, and just an idea that I had that I'm going to run by you as well. Okay, so we'll get started with the FFO. I'm so excited to show you. This was something that my coworker and I had worked on for another coworker of ours that has since left our company. She had a baby last year, and I wanted to do a little something special, and I ended up telling my coworker about it. Not the one that it's a surprise for, the other one. And she loved the idea. She wanted to be involved in it, and I was like, you know what, why don't we each do a month, because it's kind of like, it'll make sense when I show it. Anyway, so we swap back every month, except when I fell behind at one point. She kept it for a bit, and then I kept it and finished it off, which I'll explain. But anyway, this is the FFO, and I'll go through all the details of it after I show you. Isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. Now, there is a name at the bottom. I am gonna hide it in the editing, so just so you guys know, that was done with a book that I got that I actually showed in one of my other channels. Actually, let me grab it, hold on. Okay, so those letters were done with this book, with this writing. I put the first and middle name of my friend's daughter on it. So the idea behind this is that it's the year of my friend's daughter's life in stitches. So based on the temperature, it's a temperature stitch. This is a project. It's called Temperature Tree. It is created by, I'm just pulling it up here, looking at it, Sarah Hughes, Stitchin' Mommy. I've stitched this on white Aida, 16 count, 2/1. And sorry, you can see the reflection of the filming. Hopefully maybe that's better. Anyway, I think it's gorgeous. I think it turned out beautifully. I think this frame is perfect for a little girl, and because it's not very, it's not a specific color, it'll go in her decor no matter what that is, and she can keep it with her as she grows older. And I don't think it's very, like, it's not a childish pattern, I would say, or like a juvenile one. Like it's something that I would hang in my room, and I'm 28. I just think it's adorable. So anyway, that's this. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so I was supposed to give it to her this week. Plans have changed a little bit. I'm gonna give it to her sometime this month with my coworker. We're gonna meet up, and yeah, so I'm very excited about that. That was very accomplishing, and yeah, it feels good to finally have it framed. I had it sitting in my room for a while, didn't have it framed, and I was like, okay, really have to get that done. It took a while to frame, I'm not gonna lie, but well worth it. I think it looks beautiful. Okay, so next, let me just want to make sure that I said everything. Oh, with that book too, the Alphabet and Number Cross Stitch Patterns book, I got this off of Amazon. It was like $12, I think, and I can't show you the fonts real well. Hold on, maybe I can kind of show you. They have an example. Let me see if I can show it to you this way. Okay, so that's the font I use. Not all the lowercase letters are there, but you can see it. So you see how each of the letters, like lowercase and uppercase, I don't know if you can really tell, but they start and end, like the main part of the letter, like if you look at the A versus the C, the base of the actual A, not the tail, is higher than the base of the C. So when you're doing the fonts, it was very tough for me to try to lay it out and make sure that the stitching, once I was working on it, didn't go up on a diagonal. As I was stitching at one point, I charted it out and I noticed it was going up on a diagonal. I'm like, I can't have that on the pattern. I need to figure that out. So I ended up photocopying and cutting out the letters and laying them side by side in order to figure out where they needed to connect and attach. And unfortunately, these letters do not connect and attach where the tail ends and the next one starts as you think they should, because again, it goes on that diagonal. So that was a bit of a challenge, but I did that and it did involve a lot of math. So if you'd like to see a video on how I did that, or if you're gonna buy this book or want this book, I will be happy to show you how I do that. Or if you have other letters that are charted that are similar in other patterns, I will be happy to show you. But because this book has 101 patterns, there are a lot of patterns that are more like, you know, straight across, and they would start and stop at all the same points. So it was just happened to be the font that I chose that's a little more like whimsical that did that. But anyway, and then because initially we didn't plan on putting my friend's baby's name on the bottom, I had to make sure that the spacing fit. And then when I was lacing it, there was not enough, but there wasn't much, I should say. There was just enough room at the bottom to be able to fold it over the foam core board that I had in order to lace it. So it was tight, but it worked. I did it. Okay, so that's the FFO. Okay, next thing is all of my updates. So I have done a fair amount of stitching, actually. I feel like in the last month my work has, I say it's calmed down a little bit, but at the same time, work is kind of odd right now. We're kind of in the middle of a busy season and a calm season, and it's just a little odd. So, but I have taken a little bit more time to do stitching just because I felt like I just needed like a little bit of me time, because I was getting burnt out with work. My job is something that I can do just kind of like I make my own hours in a sense, but I just felt like I really needed a bit of a recharge, I'll say. So I did get a little bit more stitching done. So first I will show you my Heaven and Earth design cell. So this is Steampunk Portal. Now, hold on, let me take this off so you can see the whole thing. I have the Q snap on it, but I'm going to take it off the one side so you can see. Okay, so this is my Steampunk Portal so far. It looks so good, actually, more than I thought I did when I opened it up. So actually, just before this video, I was doing right here and I realized I parked a thread wrong, and that was such a pain because I will park using landmarks, so using other threads to make sure that I'm parking the next thread in the right spot, and I'll count over from the thread I parked previously. I guess I parked one wrong and it threw off a bunch, so there were like 5 rows of 10 stitches that were all just like a mess. And I've parked things wrong before, but you're able to catch it and just move it over the one stitch or down one, whatever it might be. But I have never parked so many stitches wrong when I've done a project, like a full coverage project ever. And so that was a pain to follow. So each thread I was picking up, I wanted to check and make sure it was the same as the thread that I, same color, and I wasn't stitching the stitch wrong. So I was checking with, like, I don't know how many threads, because there's a lot of confetti in this, just trying to make sure that the stitches were right. Anyway, so that's that, and I'll do a side-by-side comparison. Hold on, let me just get this straight here. Okay, there, side-by-side comparison, where I was last in my last update and where I am now. Sorry, this camera is so disorienting. I'm trying to figure out how to keep it straight, but it's like the image is reversed for me. Anyway, So that's that one. Now that one is stitched on, so it's a white easy guide 25 count, and I'm stitching it 2/1 with DMC. Oh, and my temperature tree is also called for DMC. And the temperature tree, I use the cold key. So if you buy the pattern, it has different temperature ranges depending on where you live. So I use the cold key because I'm in Canada and we can get pretty cold here. But it also goes up to like 20 or 30 something. So it had enough for the range. And then the color that I used for the name at the bottom is actually a color that I had that was called for, but we actually never reached that temperature, so it was never stitched with, but I felt like it would work with the color palette pretty well, obviously being that it was called for, but we never used it, so I'm like, I'll use it for the name. Anyway, okay, so that's this guy. Absolutely loving this. I spend so much of my free time doing this, but it's hard because there's so many other things I want to do too, and I am trying to do Whip Go this year, which I'll talk a little bit about after. But I'm finding it difficult to like balance everything because I'm not nearly as far on this one as I wanted to be, just based on if you complete, I think it's 6 pages, pretty sure it's 6 pages, by the end of the year you get all 12 of the charts that were offered for you to choose from, that were offered for you to choose from. For the SAL, you would get all 12 of them rewarded to you. So obviously I have one, so you'd get the other 11 to me if I completed the six pages. So that's my goal. I wanted to have the whole thing finished. I feel like that is not going to happen. I'm just a little too busy between work and personal life and whatever else. So we might have to change that goal. But again, I will go over my plans and stuff after. Okay. Next pattern is, percent on that. Let me see if I can get the percentage on that. Hold on. Anyway, so of the HAED cell, I'm at 18.36%. I will also show you, this is what it's going to look like. I forgot to show that. So this is what it's going to look like. But I'm at 18.36% right now. And then that is only of the first 2 installments. The third one, I believe, comes out on July 1st. So of the entire project, I will also put the percentage at the bottom here, or here, I should say, this side, of what percent that is of the entire project. Okay, but I do have exciting news about my HAED SAL. Just last night, I did reach over 10,000 stitches complete. So that's a big milestone for me. I think the only other project that I have that done on is my parrot, my Freebie Harmony parrot, which I will also show you guys. So next I have done, so this is April. It's the monthly it's the monthly pattern by Crochet A Go-Go. I love these. I just think these are so cute. But this is how far I've gotten. Isn't it so cute? Sorry, this is like slipping down. I don't have anything up here, but so I've started the word April. Isn't this needle minder so cute with it? Okay, so I'll do a comparison where I was last time and where I am this time. And if I haven't shown you before, or haven't already shown you when I mentioned the project, this is what it will look like. And so this one I am at 60.82%. So this one goes really fast. Like I will sit down for a few minutes and then before I know it, I've got like 300 stitches done. Whereas my HAED SAL, like I'll sit down for an hour and maybe get 50 in. If I'm lucky, maybe a little bit more than that. Just with all the confetti, because this one's so blocky, I get tons of stitching done on this one, but I think it's so cute. Okay, so this one is stitched on Mushroom Lugana, 28 count. I just got this fabric from my local needlework shop, and I'm stitching it 2/2. So super cute, super cute. Okay, that's that one. I'm gonna have to add all of the Q-snap pieces on after the video. Okay, so my next one is Tiki Beach Sunset. This is this one. So you'll notice this was on a scroll frame before. I took it off the scroll frame because I felt like my scroll frames that I have were just not holding the fabric taut enough. And I have these hoops that I bought years ago, maybe a year or two ago. And they have a lip on the inside of them that just hold the fabric so much better. And it's like a drum tight. And I just found that, you know what, this is the width of the fabric. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put it on a hoop because it doesn't really need to be on a scroll frame. It's not huge like my parrot is that I'll show you. And I don't have a Q-snap. I prefer Q-snaps in general, but I don't have a Q-snap that would fit this right now, just because they're all being used for other projects. So this is what it looks like, and then I'll do a comparison of what it looked like before. So this one is stitched, actually, hold on. This one is stitched on white Lugana 25 count. Again, 2/1 with DMC. I use all DMC, by the way, so if I don't say what threads, it's all DMC, except for one project, which I will share. Again, I got this fabric from my LNS. And then this is what it's going to look like when it's complete. So I'm absolutely loving this one. And I felt like this needle minder was so cute. It kind of matched the flowers on it. I thought it was perfect for this project. By the way, I have made my own needle minders, and I have a video on my channel I just posted about how to make them. So if you're interested in that, take a look. By the way, I just realized I have not been saying the artist. So the artist of this one is Amy Stewart. Heaven and Earth Design Sal, my steampunk portal, that's by L&L Designs. I did say who the other two were by, but those are my HAED. Like, that's who it's by, and then the artist, and then charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, of course. Okay, and then my parrot. So this is my freebie Harmony parrot that was also on Heaven and Earth Designs. This is artwork by Ching Chow Quick. This is white Lugana 25 count, again DMC 2/1. And then I'll try to do a comparison from like top to bottom there, so you can see where I was before and where I am now. And I'm loving this project. However, like, I love the colors, I love the design, but I've mentioned it before on my channel, I have those grid lines, and some people did mention to me like how to get rid of them, or suggestions on how to get rid of them. And I've kind of changed my stitching method since I started here, and I started on a hoop. And when I started over here, I don't see as like many lines in this top corner, which is when I started on a hoop. When I got a frame, I feel like this frame, like it's not, I don't know if you can tell, it's tight, but it's not drum tight. Like, it's, I don't know. So when I'm using it and pushing my needle through, it kind of like, yeah, it has some slack on it. So I feel like that could be part of the reason, because when I pull my thread, I do have tighter tension. I always have, like when I knit and everything. So when I stitch with that, I feel like I just, because the fabric is not taut, it bunches it. So I think I just need like a Q-snap or hoop or something that's gonna work on that, but I don't have anything big enough. So I think I need to buy either a bigger Q-snap down the road, or I need to buy a better scroll frame. We'll see. But I have all of like the other scroll frame stuff that kind of work with this, like the lap stand and everything else, like they work with that scroll frame. So we'll see. Anyway, so my percentages on that one are, and I didn't say my percentages of Tiki Beach Sunset. Sorry guys, forgive me, I'm all over the place here. But my percentages for Tiki Beach Sunset, that was correctly updated. So that was 12.12% of the entire project. So that's exciting. And I'm so close to 10,000 stitches. I'm so close. I'm at 7,560. I want to get to 10,000 stitches. That's my goal for the end of this year. I have written some goals that I will maybe share at the end of this video and talk a little bit about. But anyway, that was Tiki Beach Sunset. So back to, sorry for the jumping around, guys. Back to my Freebie Harmony Parrot. That one I think is also updated. Yes, it is. So that one, I'm at 16.51% of the entire project. And then this is what it's gonna look like when it is done. Okay, so lastly, this is Magwan. Now, by Bella Filipina. This is stitched on pewter Lugana, 25 count, 2/2 from the fabric is from my LNS, and it is stitched with called for DMCs, and this one is also, it does also call for Karen Water Lilies and Petite Treasure Braid and Mill Hill beads. I have not started to use the Mill Hill beads yet, but I've completed the entire bottom of the dress. I'll see if I can find a photo of it, but I have done some work since the photo was taken. But this is where you saw it last time compared to now. I love this piece, and I love the fabric color too. I just think it's so pretty. So I'm going to be working up because I basically completed everything from the bottom down, or from the middle down to the bottom, except for the beads. So yeah, this one's super fun. I just kind of pulled this out again because of my whip go. My whip go called it, but this is one I've been behind on a little bit. So I need to work on it and catch up. But again, stitches go really fast on this. I think the reason I don't pull this one out as much is because it was a paper chart, and I prefer using electronic charts, PDF charts, but this was a paper chart that I was trying to scan into my iPad because Pattern Keeper just didn't work with it. And this, I didn't know about Markup RXP, and some people have said that the pattern, like the PDF scanner or the paper scanner, works well to convert and use it as an electronic chart. So I'd like to try to do that, but I don't know if I can do that with this one. I think it's too late. I don't want to have to put all my progress in and figure out where I am and stuff. So I think that's what's holding me back from working on this one more. It's just because since working with Pattern Keeper, it's so much easier than a paper chart. Or what I had used was I scanned the document into GoodNotes, and I was trying to do it on GoodNotes, but of course, like the highlighting, it doesn't highlight one stitch at a time. You just have to use a highlighter. It's like pen on paper, and sometimes the highlighter goes over the line and you don't see a percentage at all. You don't, you know, it's just like writing on paper. But I just liked that you could zoom in and you know, yeah, anyway. So that's that one. And then this is what it'll look like when it is done. Okay, so I don't have percentages for this one, as I said, because it is not on like a Pattern Keeper or Markup RXP. But those are my updates for that. Okay, so plans. Okay, where do I start with plans? So I have WhipGo that I do. Now the numbers for WhipGo this month were, let me pull them up here, 23 and 21. So for my WhipGo board, I'll show it to you actually. See if it shows up properly on my, yeah, it kind of shows up. Okay, so this is my WhipGo board for 2025 on my Notion. And then whenever a number is called, I will see the red versus the green like highlights underneath here. I will I will record when it's called and then in what month, if you can see that. And then when I complete it, now this project, I was kitting it up. So every time it was called, I went out and bought more floss or whatever. So yeah, Magwayan has been called every single time it's on this board, I think. Pretty sure. Yep, every single time that it comes up on this board, it has been called for. And my goal for WhipGo is to work on projects that are not on Pattern Keeper for 3 days, and then projects that are on Pattern Keeper, which are mainly my full coverage projects. I want to work 500 stitches on them for that month and focus on them. As well as, you know, do my other stitching and my goals. However, Magwayan, because it's been called like 5 times, I am very far behind and I've only worked on it once. So technically I need to work on it like at least 12 times, 15 times. I don't know if it's been called 4 or 5 times, but it's like between 12 and 15 times that I need to work on it, and I've worked on it for 1 evening. I don't have like a time period, just as long as I put a few stitches in, it counts. So I need to pull that out again, but because I'm so behind on my HAED portal, I have been working on that one primarily, and then wanting to spend the time that I have to stitch on that one on my portal. So anyway, I would like to, for WhipGo and for this month, try to catch up at least on Magwayan, even if I don't do the 2 for this month, like the 5, because the other ones that were called for this month, the other projects were my parrot, and stitches go fairly quickly on that one. Excuse me, but and my other one is my twisted band sampler. Whoops. Which you can see there. So I'd like to complete another, like another band, on that one. Anyway, but that one I have to work on 3 days, the twisted band sampler, and then the Freebie Harmony parrot I have to put in 500 stitches. So that's not a problem, but I really want to catch up on Magwayan. Okay, so it has been called 4 times, Magwayan, so I have to work on it 12 times. So we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah. So I next thing is with plans and with WhipGo and with all the goals that I have set for myself. Like, they're rough goals. I don't expect to meet them all. Stitching is tough because I'm a very busy person most of the time. So I did go to ChatGPT actually. I don't know if I love using ChatGPT for certain things, and I really thought that I thought it'd be useful to input all of my goals for the year. And if you guys are interested in doing this, or like comment your goals below, let me know what your goals are, and then do this for yourself and see how it turns out. And it kind of puts things into perspective, at least for me it did. And I'm like, oof, I don't know if that goal is realistic, because I know how much I get done because I track it. So yeah, let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in or want to do it for yourself, and let me know if it works for you. But I actually asked ChatGPT to put in to make a schedule for me for each day of the week. I said for the rest of the year, but this is like a repetitive every 7 day, you know, each day of the week. It tells me what projects to work on, how many stitches to put in, because I put my goals in. I said I want to get this many stitches on this. I want to finish this project, and I put the total number of stitches I want to do. I just want to touch these projects here and there and just see some progress without having actual stitch counts. And I said I want to see all these done by the end of 2025. What does a schedule look like for the rest of this year each day if I want to complete these goals? So it actually did the math for me, broke everything down, which, I mean, I like math, so I would have sat down and done it before ChatGPT and AI was a thing, but I was like, you know what, it'd be faster just to put in a few sentences and have it spit out an answer. And then I just copied and printed it. So I've got a little schedule here of what I need to do each day. So I have been trying to write it down, and you'll see things have gone quite poorly. This was 1 week. I think I did 2 things on it. So, I don't know, again, but that's what I was saying, like, it puts things into perspective. So I can kind of see, okay, is this a realistic goal for me because I'm really not getting that much done, or, you know, I'm falling behind. If I want to reach a certain number of stitches each day, maybe I should lessen that and reconfigure my goal so that it matches how many stitches that I can actually do. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, let me know if you guys do that for yourself. I thought it was fun. I would love to hear about it if you do, and what ChatGPT spits out for you guys. So in terms of haul, I don't have much. I'm trying not to spend as much money on stuff. Although I go to the thrift store like every weekend with my boyfriend. We kind of just walk around and take a look and see what's there. Now, I didn't find anything at the thrift store when I was with him this weekend. However, I did pop by the Michaels in my area, and he came over and he was like, do you want to go to your store? And I'm like, what store? Like a thrift store? Like our the store that we go to? And he's like, no, like your store. And he's like, Michaels. And I was like, yes, of course I do. Is that even a question? So anyway, we went there and he helped me pick some colors that I didn't have. I'm trying to get a full set of, like, a master set of DMC. So I just think these are so pretty. They're like springy colors, and I know we're really, you know, going into summer now, but yeah, I think they're pretty. So so I got those. And now I think I had mentioned when I was showing you my whip go board that this project here, the steampunk freebie steampunk owl from HAED, I'm sorry I don't have the designer, but it is on their website. Actually, let me see if I can pull up the designer here, because I want to give credit if I can. Yeah. So, Malcolm Watson, that's who it is. So that chart, this is what it's going to look like if you're curious. That chart, every time it was called on my whip go, I wanted to get bits and pieces of that project in order to start it. I wanted to do it as a birthday start. My birthday was in April, the beginning of April on the 8th, and unfortunately, I didn't want to spend the money. I didn't want to, I have so much on the go, and like I said, I was falling behind and stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm going to push it off. I have a lot of stuff. I don't need a birthday start, which was sad, but at the same time, like, I'm okay with that decision. It gives me something to look forward to in the future. But I did buy the rest of the floss for that project the last time it was called. So I have all of the floss now for that project. The next time it's called, I get the fabric. The time after that is when I will do my new start. So it'll be a surprise new start before the end of this year. But then I can say I've worked on it, and it'll be a new start for 2020. And then the last thing I have for a haul is I just went to my local Value Village just the other day. So this wasn't over the weekend when I went to the other, like, one-off thrift store that is in my town. But I just got some Zweigart Ada 18 count. It's more of like an antique white, like a yellowy color, but it's the full cut, like nothing's been cut off of it. I took it out of the bag, and it's 15 by 21 inches. I don't believe anything's been cut. I haven't unfolded it, actually. I just kind of slipped it out, but I think I don't think anything's been cut off of it. So yeah. So I feel like this is, I mean, this is pretty decent size for one of, you know, a smaller full coverage thing. I'm starting to realize I think I really prefer full coverage and like fancy ladies like Mirabilias and Bella Filipinas. That's kind of more my vibe. I just don't pull out non-full coverage projects as much. I do like them for a change. Like I loved working on the April and I loved the temperature tree. So there are certain things that I do enjoy working on. But I tend to lean more towards the full coverage generally. But there is a tiger, an old tiger, what am I trying to say? Pattern in an old booklet that I found at a thrift store that I would love to stitch on, and this might be big enough. I know I had another piece that is big enough. I'll just have to see what makes more sense. Can't fit that back in the bag right now, but so that's that. Also, I'm gonna take a sip of this. Look at my mug. Isn't it cute? So I actually got this at that thrift store that my boyfriend and I go to every weekend for $1. We saw it. I was with my mom and I was like, I need that. Unfortunately, the owl, it was completely gold, but it got put in the dishwasher when it shouldn't have been, and it's kind of rubbed off a little bit on both sides. But ooh. Anyway, I think it's so cute, and that was kind of a sign. I was thinking about starting my channel at that point, and then I saw that mug and I was like, oh, okay, this is a sign. And I had already written in my phone the Night Owl Stitcher as a name for my channel, or Night Owl Stitcher. And then we saw this mug like a day or two after I had written that in my phone. I was like, okay, now we have to start the channel, because I was getting in my head about it. But anyway, side note, sorry for my rambling today, by the way. I feel like it's been a while since I've done, I mean, it's been a month, and actually I'm on time for this one, which is rare because, again, my work has kind of been a little weird recently. But so I was able to stay on time, and I posted that Flosstube extra. By the way, for those of you who post YouTube videos, do you number your Flosstube extras? I did, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to or not. I know there's no like rules, but I wasn't sure. So now I don't know what to do from the future, like from here on out, because now that I've done it once, I feel like I should continue numbering my Flosstube extras, but I don't know. Okay. Sorry for the ramble. Okay, last thing in terms of haul is I did get this tablet case just cleared, because I bought this tablet holder, which I can connect to my stand, my frame. Well, it's not a frame, but I kind of made a DIY tripod stand, and I'll show it in another video because it's kind of too big to show. Like, this is gonna be hard to show, but it can connect to that, or it can connect to, I have it on my LED light that I just bought, which is a floor light. I can't show you very well, but it's got like 5 different light settings, dimness. Yeah, it's great. I absolutely love it. It's so bright, works perfectly for my stitching. So I bought those 2 things, and the light was only like $40, I think. Pretty sure. And then the tablet holder was only like 20, I think. But anyway, I had a different case on it, which had like a flip top for the screen. And then whenever I flipped that back, it didn't fit in the tablet holder, only because the part that flips on the screen would get scrunched up. Do I have it? Hold on, I'll show you, because I'm not making sense. Okay, so this is the other tablet holder I have. So it has this cover for the screen, but then when I flip it back to look at my tablet, see how this comes over, like this is the edge of the tablet case, and then this is the backing. So every time I would put it in the frame, it would go like this, or in the tablet stand holder, it would go like this, and it just didn't work. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get plain case for the back so that it's protected at least somewhat, because I didn't like it without a case. It scares me because I drop things. I'm clumsy. Anyway, long story. Not really, I just ramble. Okay, and then you guys are going to laugh so much at what I bought. So because I'm trying to meet my HAED SAL goal, trying being the key word, I have been like really hunched over working, and it hurts my back. When I sit there for hours, like I get really like sore. So I was like, I've seen those glasses that are like the 90-degree glasses or the lazy glasses. And I was like, I wonder if that would work. So I bought 2 pairs of the 90-degree glasses, lazy glasses, whatever they're called, on Amazon. They were each like $20. I'm going to return one, I think, and I'll explain why. But I'm going to show you guys. They're hilarious. So these are them. I'll show you. So I can see into my lap perfectly looking forward. And so these ones have a wide view, wide lens, I'll say. So you can see quite a lot. So the distance that you can actually see in the glasses is quite large, I'll say. But I didn't love the blackout sides because I found it a little bit, like I watch YouTube videos and I mark up on my tablet with Pattern Keeper and stuff. So I felt like not being able to see around the prisms, I think they call them, wouldn't work for me. But I liked that they were larger lenses. So then I also bought these. I wanted to try the difference. So these are way more discreet. And these ones I can look above and I can look at my YouTube or mark up on my Pattern tablet. These are hilarious, aren't they? But I can also look in them and then look down at my lap. But again, because the lenses on these are, you can tell from the side, they're just thinner. Like if you look at the depth of these ones, they're, I don't know, it's hard to tell on the camera, but they're quite wide in comparison to these, see? So you really cannot see as big of a view, large of a view. But if I'm just stitching in a section, I really don't need to. And I liked that they're not as, you know, I'm not covered. I don't know how else to explain it. I can't find the words right now. But I can also look like underneath them. So if I'm stitching and I can't see, this looks hilarious because my eyelashes. I can't see a stitch closely because they do kind of, they don't zoom in, they zoom out. So that's the only thing. You kind of have to have your stitching closer to have it feel like it's at a normal distance that if you weren't using these. They also do have some, for those of you guys that wear glasses, they do have some that go over your glasses. So if you look at those, I will leave the links for all of these down below. But they're both, the lens is, it's very clear. And they're really neat. So I did stitch with these actually for a little while one day, and they worked quite well. So the other ones are the ones I will be returning just because I can look over these and they're more discreet. And actually the thickness of the lenses doesn't bother me at all. I thought I'd have trouble seeing in them or focusing, and I don't. So that's that. That was my long ramble. I'm rambling a lot in this video, guys. It's almost an hour. Yikes, but we're almost done. Okay, so other crafts I have are diamond painting. So I showed this, and I think it was in my last update. My mom gave me this for my birthday, and it's a little compact mirror. She went on a cruise, so it's a compact mirror. She went on a cruise, and there was a lady on the cruise who was doing diamond painting every day. And she went up and talked to her, because my mom has done diamond painting. I kind of got her into it a little bit. And then this lady had these little compact mirrors that she got, and she's showing my mom. And she ended up getting me one for my birthday. She actually got 3, and I think she was going to give one to each, myself and my sisters. So I have started it, just a very small start. I only did this for like 5 minutes. But it does come with or I think my mom bought a glue. that like a sealer. It's kind of like a Mod Podge type thing, but it seals it after you're done, so you can throw it in your purse and take it with you. So started that. And then I mentioned in my last update, I believe it was my last update, that I had another diamond painting set that I have done that I have never shown on my channel. And I have started it, but I haven't finished it yet. I've never shown it. So it's these two. You go like this. And then there's a third one on this side where my face is that I'm working on right now, which I'll show in a minute, but I think they're so cute. And I got this set from Costco, and it was not expensive. Like, how much was it? Is a sticker on here? I don't know. It's by Art Skills. This is the box. You might be able to look it up and find some on Amazon, but it was really inexpensive. And oops, this is the third piece. It's gonna go on that other side. So I'm so close to being done. This would take a few days and I just haven't finished it yet. But again, this one comes with a sealer type thing to seal the top and then put them on your wall. But they're so pretty, and they have sparkly ones. Like, you can see they're not, I mean, they're all sparkly, but they have like crystal ones that are kind of see-through rather than solid colors. Anyway, so I said I would show that, and I'm showing that. And also, obviously, it comes with all of the drills, but it also came with this little container, which is super cute. And what I find, though, is that even though it comes with this container, which I love, it doesn't fit all of the drills that you get, like all the colors. So I bought a bigger, hold on. I bought this off of Amazon. And those of you who diamond paint have probably seen these before. That's the picture there. That's what it's gonna look like. But so that's how many colors are extra. But I bought this for future diamond painting if I did like bigger projects. And then this is the bottle of like the sealer stuff. And then this case came with like a roller press that you roll on top of your diamonds to make sure they're in there properly. They kind of snap in. It came with a bunch of tools. A nice, it's in the other room. But anyway, a nice pen. Like, not just the pink little, not like this. Not this. I mean, it came with a couple of those too, but it came with a nice thick, like, you know, it's not glass, I guess it's plastic, but like, it looks like it's blown glass almost handle, and it's wider, so it's easier on your hand to hold. And it's the one that I got matches the case that I have, so it's like blue and it's super pretty. Anyway, you can find them on Amazon, these cases, and again, they're not super expensive either. So anyway, so that's my diamond painting, because I said I would show that. Okay, so the last couple things, I was just gonna ask a question and then kind of mention an idea I had. So in order, when you guys finish a project, because I've finished my temperature tree, when you guys like unkit a project or put all of your floss back, because I have a master set, so for those of you who have a master set that you don't work from, but you like pull from, do you add the rest of your color to that set, or do you keep them separate? Because I feel like I want to know that I have a full skein on my master set and not actually work from that set. Because if I have to start a project and the dye lot is different, because I have had skeins where the dye lot's slightly different, or I got a lot of skeins from my granny, and when I compare it to the new skeins at the store, they're slightly different. And I want to make sure that if a project calls for like 2 skeins, I'm not using 2 skeins of different dye lots, and I want to make sure that I have enough on my master set bobbin my floss drop bobbin from Adam Hart Cross Stitch. I want to make sure that that's a full skein of one color, of one dye lot. What do you guys do with your extra floss? Because I have a couple projects, a few now, the Nora Corbett N and S and my temperature tree, that I have not yet like unkit because I don't know where to put the floss. But I want to be able to use the rest of those flosses and colors and find them easily. I just don't know where to put them. So if you have any ideas, let me know, please. That would be appreciated. Okay. I think the last thing I was gonna say is just, in my last video, for those of you who haven't watched it, I wanted to kind of reiterate it on here because I know not everyone's gonna want to watch the how to make needle minders. A lot of you do or don't need to, or you know, buy them or have no desire to make them yourself, or you like the Stitch With Me's or the update videos better. So I was thinking I could maybe sell needle minders on Etsy. I do have an Etsy account. I don't use it now currently, but I do have one, so I could start putting things on there, like needle minders on there. I had some other ideas for it as well, that I could sell like other items, other stitchy items, stitchy related things, like scissor fobs, scissor drops, little charms, needle minders, obviously, like little bits and pieces that I could sell on there. But I would just start with the needle minders right now. Is that something that you guys would be interested in checking out, or you would just make your own? Obviously, like, I have my tutorial, so if that's what you would prefer to do, that's totally fine. But I figured for those of you who were interested in purchasing them, didn't want to make them, didn't have the time to, or whatever, I enjoy making them. I think they're fun. I would not have any problems doing that and selling them on an Etsy. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that, and if so, I will look into it. If not, then no worries, no worries. Speaking of, though, these are the ones that I've done recently. So my little Simba, so cute. I had this pin that my sister got me. I love this one, adorable. I think I'm gonna use this one for diamond painting, actually, to hold back the film. I have another one on there. I don't know if you saw it. It was like a little purse bag, just because the magnet isn't as strong as I want it to be. Like, the magnet is, excuse me, but I use all the same magnets on my needle minders, but the pin itself is not as magnetized. So the needle minder sticks to it, but just not as strong as I would like. So I wouldn't sell, if I were to do an Etsy, I wouldn't sell ones like this for needle minders. I would sell them as like diamond painting, like to hold back the film, or you know, just choose not to sell them if I didn't want to sell them as diamond painting ones. So I can't use this as a needle minder, really. I mean, I could, but it's not great. But it's super cute, so I do want to use it still. And then I have this little guy. My sister works for Instacart, so she gave me this little carrot, which I think is cute for the spring. And then this little guy, so my boyfriend bought me some earrings that he was like, he's like, you might not wear them, but, and I felt so bad. I was like, I love them. What do you mean? So I have a necklace here, which is so cute, and I have worn this. I love this. This is adorable. But it's the same thing, but on a necklace. So this, 100% love it, would wear it. This one, because they're a little dangly, I don't really wear dangly earrings. I kind of keep my hoops in most of the time. I mean, they're so cute though. Aren't they cute? But he was like, even if you want to make them as needle minders, and I was like, that is such a great idea. So he did suggest it. It wasn't me. I do love the earrings, but like I said, I usually wear my hoops, and I love my little necklace. Like, I think they're adorable. But so now I have two little owl needle minders, and then these are also great, very magnetic, so very good. Anyway, those are those. Okay, I think that's everything. I'm sorry, I have rambled for over an hour, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below, let me know what you do with your extra floss. Let me know if you tried the Chat GPT thing. I think that was super cool. I'm gonna stay up to date on my stitching goals. I'm gonna try to and see how far I get with them, and if I need to reconsider, I will do that. But I'm really enjoying keeping up with my whip go, keeping up with working on it. This is the first year I've really done it and felt like, you know, I do have some catch up to do, I'm not gonna lie, but it's keeping me accountable. It's good, and having goals are good. I do have a list of goals. So if you want me to go through this list in another video, I am more than happy to do that. Oh, I guess I will ask really quickly, and before I end this video because it's over an hour, if you guys would be interested in seeing, I did record a stitch with me, but since then I've done more stitching on that project. It was on my HAED portal. Would you like to see a stitch with me that has been recorded a bit ago? So I have since gotten progress on it. Are you still interested in that? Because if so, and you just play it in the background and listen to it, which is what I do with a lot of Stitch With Me's, I kind of just listen to it and like hearing people or hearing like stitching, although I'm probably going to put it to music. So if that's something that you guys want to do, or just knowing that like someone's stitching with you in the background, I like that personally, let me know. I will post it if that's something that you like, because I do have that video I can post in 2 weeks, and then I can do another update at the beginning of July. So I think that's everything now. If you stayed to the end, thank you. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Thank you for clicking on my video. Comment below, let me know you stayed to the end, because that would be exciting for me to know. And yeah, everybody, okay. I hope you have a lovely day, night, wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a hoot stitching, everybody.